Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm Jeff.
And on this week's Arguably Correct, we're going to be talking about deepfakes.
How deep is it?
Well, it did start with the porno industry, so...
It actually did not start with the porno industry,
No.
but the porn industry, the adult entertainment industry, did popularize it.
Look at you being all... The adult entertainment industry.
Adult entertainment industry,
Porn.
yeah.
Just call it porn.
Yeah, everybody loves to see celebrities, doing dirty things. So this, they started taking what... If anybody that does Snapchat or any of the Facebook filters, those things that put glasses on the dog, and capture your face, basically that is exactly the technology we're going to be talking about here, and that's where it started, was putting that little stupid bunny ears on
the dog tongue coming out when you open your mouth.
Yeah, some facial recognition software. Well, I shouldn't say recognition, but
altering.
No, but what it does is it tracks the face, right?
Yeah.
So it puts facial points on there so you can attach a mask, so to speak. And they started taking that technology and taking other people's faces and putting them on porn actresses.
Some of them,
or actors.
Not the porn ones, but some of the ones I've seen here lately are fucking amazing.
And the scary thing is how little effort and technology it really takes to make this happen now. There's actually an app out there called Fake App.
I saw Face App. The big people were like, "Oh, the Russians are running it," or whatever. I got that one though.
This one's called Fake
Okay.
App. Yeah. So one of the examples out there right now is Jim Carrey's face on from The Shining. Help me out here. Jack Nicholson. Thank you, Jack Nicholson. And when I had first seen it, I didn't read any of the text with it. I'm like, oh, they're doing a remake of The Shining. And maybe like this is his little clip and see how, like, oh man, he really matched all the facial expressions, everything.
He did a good job.
There. Yeah, it was such a good job. I actually like spread it around to a couple people, showed them. It wasn't later until like my feed kind of revolved back around on YouTube. And I looked at the title and I'm like, oh, what? A deep fake? What is that? I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
And started looking into it, and it started kind of actually scaring the shit out of me.
Really?
Dude, politically, yeah, that's the part that scares me.
But I would think, so I get now that you can fake and you can make, Trump or whoever else look like they're saying whatever you want them to say. But wouldn't that just mean, like, I already don't believe most of what I see on the internet because it's usually bullshit.
You don't, but not the populace.
Okay. I got
you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think lowest common denominator here.
Why do we always have to go
because you have.
Why can't they keep up?
You have to average out the response of the the masses, so to speak.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's what scares me. It's like, yes, the average person might be like, oh, what? Why would they say that? But I don't know. I mean, we have a.
You think it's
person
going
in
to
office
sway
now
elections? We got one coming up. So
absolutely could sway elections. I mean, you look at all these videos coming out, and one of the movements in the last couple of years, the Me Too movement, and you hear, Trump saying things about grabbing somebody by the pussy, right?
Yeah.
Well, not only is this deepfake application applicable to video, they actually have a component of audio to it now. They basically have audio Photoshop,
Yeah, where you can make somebody in their voice, if they've been recorded enough, say whatever you want them to say.
It only takes about 40 minutes of recorded conversation to authentically recreate somebody's voice. 40 minutes, that's all it takes. And that
so we've got enough out there that we're fucked.
We absolutely do. Yeah. It's amazing. I know there's one of the experiences that they put out on YouTube is I can't remember what college it is, somewhere on the East Coast, that they did Barack Obama and basically made him say whatever they wanted him to say, and actually coordinated the video with the face, the deep fake face video part, and made it look like he actually said it. And I don't know, that to me frightens the shit out of me. It really does.
It is kind of a scary thing, but it's also like, I know you're saying the lowest common denominator, but I mean, you'd think that you just like, you'd only take things from a trusted source. And maybe there'll be a way to counter. So what do you think they're going to do?
What do you think? General masses believe video doesn't lie, right?
Well,
I mean, how many court cases have been, proven?
That was back in the day. Like, it used to be photographs didn't lie, and then they figured out how to alter photographs.
Correct.
But now we all know when we see a fake photograph.
I don't know, man. I've seen
for the most
completely intelligent people share a photograph that I obviously knew was fake, and so I just saw one today, yesterday, I think it was, that they circulating on the Facebook is. The Facebook
on the Book of Faces.
Yeah, the Book of Faces was the largest blue whale in its calf swimming underneath the bridge, and I'm like,
I saw that too.
Fucking blue whale's big, but it ain't that fucking big. Like, come on. And people reading the comments are like, wow, the majesty of the sea, that's crazy. Wow, how did they even get that bridge out in the deep water like that? And I mean, all these comments, and these are reasonably.
I saw the picture and I was like, that's a nice looking fake. Like, that's cool. But I never once thought it was
I didn't either, but the person that showed it to me, I believe, did.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, well, are you kidding? Well, okay, well, didn't think about it, right? You didn't look 2 steps past that, be like, would
One
that
step.
even be
It's
possible?
common sense. Like that thing
Is
was
it common sense if you've never seen it, if you're not interested in, biology or human, or,
I don't know.
do you maybe maybe a creature like that does exist, and who knows? Maybe we just captured
It's
it.
not going to be in that shallow water by a bridge.
How do you know that water was shallow?
Okay, I'm just saying the
assume the
picture
water's
was
shallow.
a clear fake.
You
You look at it and it was. Remember that one?
to me, it was fake just based on common sense that I know that those animals aren't that big.
one that came out a couple years after 9/11, where they were like, we found someone's camera and like showed them like doing a selfie with the plane coming in behind them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's clearly fake. It's like it's fake.
I don't even think selfies were really a thing back then.
I don't know if they were or not, but that wasn't a.
Yeah.
You just look at it and
You, a reasonable person, puts
depending on
a
the
reasonable
day.
skeptic, right?
Yes.
Puts that in there. But I don't know that, the general populace, even if you have 100 people, if 4 of them believe it,
Yeah. That's enough to
they'll
start changing.
You're entirely, to change the sway
But
of
we
opinion.
we can't really make it illegal to do deepfakes, so can we? 'Cause
No.
wouldn't that go against the First Amendment?
I agree.
So they got to be out there.
I'm just saying it's dangerous technology, and I think one of the things is letting people know that it exists, right?
Yeah.
And it actually has a whole bunch of positive things that we could use it for. One of the
Porn.
Porn, yeah. Well, on to the porn
Sold.
thing. Think about this: like, if you're there could become a time where an actor or an actress doesn't even have to like
Act
anymore. They can be replaced by body doubles or whatever, and basically can be put into an entire movie. I know they're already talking about taking dead celebrities and doing sequels of movies and putting them back into it. Now,
That's so messed up.
Star Wars, some of the more recent ones did show like some younger versions of Princess Leia and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it was actually her, right? Well, her the actress, but not her face. They did the deep fake and used it. Except they didn't. They did their version of deep fake, which cost millions of dollars, way more money. And there was a comparison online. Like this guy took 30 minutes with the deep fake app, and compared it side by side with what Hollywood's done. And you can tell that it's different, but the argument is it millions of dollars different?
It doesn't look $1 million different. It looks
Right.
maybe like $50, or maybe it looks like
It looks pretty reasonable.
80 minutes instead of 40 minutes.
Yeah, and I think it kind of, the only thing that gets me, and I know we've kind of touched upon this term, but oh damn it, this happens to me a lot lately. I don't know, I'm losing my mind. I think the uncanny valley. Valley.
We've had a rough summer.
Yeah,
my good sir.
Yeah, the uncanny valley. Do you know what that is?
I don't think I do know.
The uncanny valley is if you imagine a graph of let's see how real something looks versus reality. So let's take like a computerized face. When like the early robots, like a robot looks like a robot, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't freak you out because you know it's a robot. Then they look more and more humanoid,
It gets more and more freaky.
Well, becomes a point where people are like, oh, that's recognized. I like that. Then all of a sudden it gets almost perfect, but it's just slightly off enough that the human brain sees it and goes, that's weird. Like it's creepy. Something's off about it. And then you go through this valley of, and when I say valley, it's like people think that this looks good, looks correct, looks normal, and then all of a sudden it drops off when you're talking about this minor,
Once you cross that threshold,
that realism, and then it goes back up. So when it looks real, you can't tell, but so that's what gets me is like I can sense that uncanny valley when I see some of these.
Mm-hmm.
Like I start seeing the subtle, like facial doesn't match with the head turned or something like that. It jumps out at me. It just looks
a little.
It just looks
And
too real.
And I did
almost.
watch a few of the videos when you said you wanted to
Mhm.
talk about this. So I thought I'd do just like maybe 20 minutes worth of poking around, and some of that is fucking. It's honestly technology wise. I know it's scary and all, but it's fucking neat.
It is neat,
Like,
and how it works is
Yeah.
incredibly. And how
I mean, I'm watching it, and I watched the one, I forget what it was, but the one guy like changed from him to somebody else, then back to him during the video, and I was like, what? It was him to Tom Cruise, and then back to him, and I was like, what the fuck? He like became Tom Cruise while he was talking, and then went back to him.
Well, it reminds me of that old black and white video by Michael Jackson. Remember that? Where all the faces would turn, and as it would turn back, it would morph into somebody else. You know, which again is not the same thing.
Black or white.
It's black. It's white. Oh, yeah, it was all these faces.
Matter if you're black or white.
Yeah,
whatever. He's a
yeah.
raper. I don't want to talk about him.
Then there's that, right? But yeah, I mean it is interesting. and cool, the technology, and it's so basic that it drives from this thing that puts a mustache on you, or the stupid tongue hanging out.
Very simply.
Very simple, and things that people were spending millions of dollars on developing technology to do this just for like the movie industry and things like that, special effects. And
now you can do it on your phone.
You can do it on your phone, and within a half-hour resource. And imagine if you put a high-powered computer in there and a bigger neural network. And one of the things that it goes off of is if you don't have what you would say a presence on the internet, you don't have a lot of pictures out there, it can't do what it does. At least it doesn't do what it does well.
But who doesn't have that anymore?
There are very few.
Yeah, majority of people do.
I have one friend in particular that there's no digital picture that exists of that person that I can.
What?
And actually, we know this person together, and I'll tell you later.
Wow.
But her boyfriend sent me a picture, and it just was a blur, right? Like, that's as close as it's ever come to there being a digital picture of this person.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. How do you do that? How do you stay out of?
It would take work.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a security camera somewhere
but you're always on camera.
In social context of friends, whatever, she stays out of those pictures completely.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens.
Me neither. I'm gonna spend the rest of this conversation trying to think of who it is until you tell me.
I would dare you to even try to I've tried to Google it and see if I can find anything. Anybody's tagged her anywhere. It's something even like
something in a high school yearbook that's got posted online.
That'd be interesting.
Maybe.
No, I haven't been able to find it, but that's a good point. But
I keep wanting to delete my Facebook, not for any security reasons, just because I half hate it.
Well, and we put all these pictures out there of ourselves, and kind of.
I barely use mine anymore.
Yeah, but they're still there.
Yeah,
they still exist.
There. But I'm like, who cares? Who wants a picture of me? Like, what are you gonna do with it? I don't give a fuck.
Be committed, accused of a crime, and make photos and videos of you doing a crime that you didn't commit.
I got an alibi and weapons to back it up.
Is that what it is? But it is an interesting thing, and I think people need to look into it, know that it exists. Just
the fact that if you know it exists, and
ask most people don't know what the hell deepfake is.
Yeah,
they don't have a clue. But the funny part about all this is how much the adult industry drives technology in this country.
Right.
The VHS versus beta was a direct push because of the porn industry adopted VHS over beta because it was cheaper, but it was less.
And it drove the whole industry towards VHS.
Right. Everybody's like, well, I got to go. I'm not buying both. So, I mean, why do you have that other VHS in there? The only thing that's on there is porn.
Yeah, right.
But...
it's funny how now we're out of physical copies of pretty much anything anyway.
Man, I was thinking of that the other day, so I wanted to put some music together, and I'm like, I don't think I own one MP3. I wouldn't know where to find it if I did right now. And
what got me was my latest computer that I purchased, and I went to put a CD in it, and there's no CD drive.
CD drive.
And I got to thinking, and I'm like, well, shit, I guess it makes sense. Like, when was the last time
And I always wonder,
you download.
Why don't they sell thumb drives at the music store instead of the CD anymore?
Because you can just get online and download it.
Yeah, but I mean, now you have a physical copy of it yourself. You know what I mean? They're still selling CDs, so what's the point of that?
I don't think CD sales are very high anymore.
And they're not very high.
I think that the majority of things are digital at this point.
I will tell you, record sales are definitely increasing. Vinyl.
Yeah, which is weird.
I
have a record player and I have vinyl, so I guess I kind of get it. But
everything old's new again,
Yeah, the cycle.
The cycle continues. It does. I love it when I hear 17-year-old kids playing like Green Day, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like classic rock." It's like, what?
I get so mad. Or when
what?
When you hear a classic rock station, you hear a song that came on, and you're just like, "Oh, why is that on here?"
I knew we got old when I heard Green Day and Kroger's.
Yep, that's it. That'll do it.
I said, "Shit."
Both of them? Both Kroger's?
Both Kroger's. Yeah, the plural one. Yeah. K. Rogers. Yeah. But deepfake, again, I think even in like the podcast world, politics, there's positive and negatives, but the more people know about it, the better off we are to be skeptical about things that we see. But it opens up a whole host of issues, like legally, like when you're talking about, a trial or anything like that, using video evidence, like it would give the opportunity for an attorney to say, hey, that's not admissible.
You would almost think that there's going to have to be a way at some point. Like, remember when people first were doctoring photos, and you quote unquote couldn't tell it was being done, but then they figured out ways to be able to tell. So I would think at some point they're going to find a digital footprint where this has been altered. So there's got to be a way to study the.
So right now there is.
Yeah.
Except there's an exception. So right now there is for the original file. If you have the original file,
Okay.
right, it has to be the original. Once it gets digitally sent around because of compression,
You
those
lose it.
fingerprints are gone. I think one of the statistics said it only takes about I think it said 3 downloads, like up and downloads, to basically erase any kind of identifying
The things you'd be able to
features.
tell, yeah.
Yeah. So unless they, and then the argument said they'll probably try to do 2 things. The industry is looking into encrypting it into blockchain, which I'm not too smart on the whole blockchain thing, but basically, it's not all non-alterable. I don't understand the blockchain. I really don't.
Yeah,
I wish I did.
I don't
I'd
either.
love to do an episode on it because I want to read up on it and kind of understand it better. And the other thing is to actually use AI that's making this possible, reversing it, and having it search for the fakes
Yeah, 'cause
and look for the
it's
variances.
bad both ways. It's bad for like, somebody to make a video to make someone, a politician or whatever, look like they said something that they didn't say. And it's also bad because if a politician does really say something,
They can deny it.
they can, and it's
Absolutely.
plausible, and they can be like, I never said anything about grabbing anybody by the pussy.
Exactly.
I don't know where they got that from. I would never speak like that.
I don't know about you, but that is concerning to me.
It is. I can see the concern on it, but I think there has to be a way to counter it somehow.
Uh,
At some point, it's still fairly new technology, so
Right.
there's going to have to be an answer
yeah, but
to it.
that's the scary part. How new it really is. How
Where it's-
good
where
it
it's-
really
where it's
is.
gonna go from
Where is
here.
it going?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even from the audio standpoint, being able to recreate somebody's speech to that degree. Barack Obama is very identifiable in his speech, right?
Yeah.
His gait, his temper, everything he does, you can tell. Like even if you're just slightly imitating him, you're like, oh, that's
Yeah,
Barack
you get
Obama.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. But the implications here are just crazy.
Implication.
The implications. So I was thinking of deepfake when I was reading all these articles about the raid on Area 51.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before.
Everybody knows. Well, I shouldn't say nobody knows, but we're recording this the day after the amazing raid that didn't happen. Basically, it was a capitalism grab bag of merchandise. I think is most of it.
But I think how many people ended up showing up?
I don't know. I think it was a couple thousand,
A
maybe.
couple thousand people. Looked like they had a stage set up. Looked like they had a party.
Yeah. I'm betting that this is going to become like a Burning Man
It's gonna be a yearly
situation,
thing. Yep.
yearly thing. I do like but the whole deep fake thing is there was this one kid that was showing up in like almost every video, and it reminds me of the shootings in Florida when they were saying like, oh, here's these actors are portraying themselves, and it makes you wonder, right? Here's this kid on social media, but nothing's impossible.
I know, but
Right? Anytime money's involved, Jay.
The whole false flag. Oh, these shootings really happened. I don't.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
No,
I never bought into that kind
I've-
of conspiracy.
Wasn't there a
nut
story
jobbery.
like somebody said to Neil Armstrong, or I can't remember who it was, that basically the moon landing was fake and he punched him in the face?
Yeah, it was Buzz. I think it was Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, punched the guy right in the face.
Like,
But that guy had been pestering him for like
Yeah.
a while.
listen, I was there. I risked my life. Don't even start. And now we have India put a rover on the moon, and recently in China's thinking about going back to the moon.
It'd be nice to go back.
Why?
There's still. I mean, look at the technological push
Mm-hmm.
that happened with the space race and everything that came down from that. I mean,
A lot of government money spent on that.
yeah. Well, I mean, wouldn't it be great if we had that where like everybody got along? We didn't have to worry about defense. Everybody could spend our money bettering mankind.
No.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be terrible.
Why?
'Cause we all love to fight.
Well, do it on a video
We
game
all
or
love to
something,
argue, right? Yeah, the war. Wouldn't that be something? We live in a utopian society. That should be something for what's that show on Netflix? Black Mirror. Black Mirror should do something like
seen
that. Like we all live in a utopian society, but we wage wars on video games, and things are won and lost there. But in real life, everybody's happy
cool.
and go yeah. And when they get home, it's like the Purge. It's the one day of the year that everybody just
Right.
So when they get home, they're death assassins and shooting people in some game, but get all their rage out. That would be an interesting episode. I think I'd watch that. So would you watch it if you knew a movie was pure deep fake? None of the actors or actresses in the movie were in there, but would you watch it?
I mean, half of why I like movies so much is because of the acting. If a good actor will make you forget that they're an actor, you get lost in that character.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was all, I mean, you kind of do anyway, like with the digital stuff, because Toy Story and whatever else. I mean, I guess if I knew it was fake, I wouldn't care so much. I would care if I thought it was real and found out later on it was fake. I'd be like, he did such a good job acting, and the Oscar goes to
Here's
this
somebody
guy who
else.
programmed
Right.
the computer program to make this all happen.
Well, that's where I kind of get into, like, if the premise of the movie or whatever is that it's all reality is suspended, that this is, make believe, it's all fake. That's fine. You know what? Bend the rules, follow the rules.
Yeah.
At least you make them. It's like, I know Toy Story isn't real, but yeah, I do get lost in the story. I'd stop thinking of the characters as
And I don't think that
cartoons.
I don't think that digital, acting is still an art form, and we can do
in professional lying.
What's that?
Professional lying.
Professional lying, yeah. But what, you mean lawyers? But you can do, think of all the artwork you can do on computer. Like, now you can create all sorts of different pieces of work of art on a computer, but people still paint. It's not like one took over the other. People still want to have that the natural true art form to be able to put something down on canvas and do it yourself painting.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's going to destroy acting as a thing. I think they might just use it, for special effects and.
I think it may even make it cheaper.
I mean, maybe at some point.
Because think of, if they have to reshoot things or that person even dies during shooting, whatever.
But again,
like
the actors are an art form, and the writer is an art form, and the director is an art form, the videographers, and I mean, it's a bunch of different artists all working together, and this is just one more tool they can use. I don't think one thing is going to necessarily take it over.
So do you think the Screen Actors Guild will start looking at this and potentially like fighting against it?
I don't know. I guess it'll have to wait and see how big it becomes.
It's like, how long do you own your likeness? When you die, do you still own your likeness? I mean, the answer is yes, kind of, depending, but
I would think so.
Yeah, again, unless it's part of the estate, you know what I mean? Like, so like,
yeah.
Like Elvis, his likeness is owned by the estate, so on and so forth, and they can still use it. People, even though,
like Bob
they
Ross
can
right
sell
now.
it,
Bob Ross has a channel on Twitch.
Does he really?
He really does.
How's this?
I guess his family, whoever is in charge of, whoever owns that show,
Yeah.
made a deal with people at Twitch, and you can go to.
So is it just rerunning his show all the time?
Yep.
Seems like that's not what Twitch is.
It's not, but he's got subscribers. People are in the chat, and I guess Twitch gave the family
Well,
the money
they
from
chatting
it.
to each other, I suppose, right?
Yeah, they're just talking to each other about stuff. And a lot of people pop in, and I spent, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes watching it, because I was mad when I first saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought somebody would just put it out there on their own and was just collecting money, and
Yeah.
I was pissed about that because, that's fucked up.
Right.
And it turns out, no, it's the money goes to Bob Ross's family. It's all been okayed. It's all above
okay
board.
by them, whoever owns the estate.
Whoever owns the estate, yeah.
Right. He might have thought it was terrible idea.
He might have, but
Has
again,
no say
you're
in it.
dead. You don't have a say anymore.
This
Yeah.
is true. Well, we don't think so anyway.
No,
We
going
don't-
back on that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I fell asleep many times watching or listening to.
I used to
man
watch
on
that.
PBS. Yeah.
I even once thought that I was an artist because I'm like, he makes it look so easy. He's so
does
he's
make
so
it look
positive.
easy. He
So I
is.
got the stuff and I tried it and I was like, I am fucking stupid. Like he keeps saying it's easy and mine looked really, really bad.
His classes always remind me of those wine and paint classes that the uncork the artist.
Yeah.
You see the instructor's thing is
They do further to
whatever.
hand you a joint when you come in.
Yeah.
So,
And then you look at your own. I've never done it, but I've seen people
Yeah.
that have done it, and you'll have like 10 girls that do it, and they'll all put up next to each other that they've done it. It's like you can definitely tell like the art is a talent.
Yep.
It's not exactly the paint by numbers. I mean, you can do paint by numbers, but yeah, no.
And I'm sure like anything else, you can learn some of it and get okay at it just by being taught. But if you don't have that natural eye and that natural ability, I don't think it's something you'll never. Nobody can teach you how to be a full-on artist. I don't think.
I don't think so. That is a podcast for another time.
Yeah, I think
Is
you
it-
can just improve the skill sets you already have.
Is it talent or can it be learned? See, and that's
Learned.
learned. Is it learned?
No, it's not. But I thought I'd go ghetto for a second.
Gotcha. Seems like there's a time that we're learned.
I wanted that out there for the deepfake people.
Learn behavior, yeah.
They'd have learnt on
Well,
file
shit,
for
we wouldn't
me.
have to do this thing anymore if we could get the deepfake audio. We could just type up everything we want to say. There'd be
And
no
have it saved
no
for us.
likes, no other shitty.
You wouldn't have to edit so much.
Correct. You wouldn't have to do any of that. There'd be no coughing, no dog barking in the background. And it would sound perfect because you would just type it out.
But would it be the same?
Would it?
we'd have to type our conversation back and forth with each other. There'd be long pauses in between where we're reading what the other one said to type back. It wouldn't.
I don't know. Think about your communication, and I don't know. Text is a bad way to put it, but the way you talk to somebody when you have time to articulate a statement, via text or writing a note or an email versus having to come up with, the dialogue right off the top of your head, talking to them directly. It is different. I'm a hell of a lot more articulate, usually in written.
Sure.
Than
you have
I
more
am
time to
think about what I'm saying.
sort all your thoughts out and put them in order and write it all down neatly and concisely, and it makes. But yeah, absolutely.
Putting the periods in the right places,
But
etc.
for a podcast, don't they want conversation? You'd lose that with
Man,
with
I don't know.
Deepfake.
You don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but there's a shit ton of podcasts out there that sounds like somebody reading off a piece of paper the entire time.
Really?
Yeah, and ours is as sloppy, so to speak, as it is. I mean, because it's a general conversation between two people.
We're talking.
We don't script it. We just have an idea. We come with an idea and we
Oh,
talk.
so I can throw the script away you gave me?
Yeah, that's right. See how good the script is? It sounds so natural. That's my new Deep Script app that I'm working on. My Deep Script.
Deep Script 9. Okay, I'm done.
Deep Script 9.
I'm done.
But I just realized today that this is gonna jump the squirrel here, but you said deep space.
Oh, boy.
Star Trek Voyager, when the female captain of that ship. Have you ever watched it?
Nope.
Nah, never mind then. I didn't realize that was Red from Orange is the New Black.
I
No.
I don't watch
Never
that
watched that either.
No.
Oh man.
I sorry.
Yeah. How are those Browns?
I know Star Trek is a thing, and they're awful like always.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
We're not going to get into that.
I'll
Find out tonight.
The Browns. Yeah.
Yep.
When they play 7?
8:20.
8:20. Yeah.
Get their asses kicked.
It's been a bad football weekend.
I haven't watched any football this weekend.
No.
No.
Yeah. I like this. I do enjoy football. I'm not a big sports guy. I do enjoy football though. For some reason, I don't know why.
The foosball.
The foosball.
Go play the foosball with your friends.
Well, hell, there's sporting events you could.
Maybe we could deep fake some talent onto some of these fucking teams.
That's the one thing I never understood is how one particular team, no matter who plays for them, can be bad continually year after year, like the Browns.
It's statistically improbable.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the law of large numbers states that eventually that everything would be 500 teams, right? But
They should have accidentally won some games by now, just by sheer numbers.
by randomness, yeah. And I don't get how that's
It's like it
possible.
takes work to be that
To be
bad,
that bad.
that consistently.
I would love to talk to somebody that knows why that is. Like, what is it? Ownership? Is it
I don't know.
a curse that somebody
it's
killed
all
a
a
goat
big-
somewhere?
It's all a
and-
big deep fake.
It's all a big deep fake. I can see that being, the new sports and shit. It would be like watching the video game sports. It's just all pre-scripted and looks like real people.
Well, to get back to, to couple this a little bit with sports, what about all the sports, I guess, stars or whatever you want to call them, the star athletes being accused of all these different things,
Mhm.
and again, it could be used for that purpose to blackmail somebody.
all day.
All
day.
I made this. Here's the video. I'm going to put this out. It looks like you're beating the hell out of this person, or you're doing something horrific. Either give me $100,000 or I release it. I mean,
That'd be terrible. Even though you knew you didn't do it.
yeah. But at that point, like, what?
What do you do? I don't know.
It could be a very dangerous technology.
And one thing I do like about it, though, is they're working on technology. Well, it already kind of exists, but not popular, is I don't like trying on clothes, right? I don't like going to the damn store and having to take clothes on, off. It's just,
What's funny about that?
huh?
I don't.
You don't try them on?
Nope.
I didn't for a
buy
long time
almost
either.
everything on the internet. And
Yeah.
if it fits, great. And if not, fuck it. Goodwill just got a shirt.
Yeah, I never return shit either. I'm really bad about
I'm
that.
too lazy to return,
I
man.
am.
I just give it away.
It's sad. Yeah, I do too. Well, or just throw it in the closet. Never. I'm like, maybe one day I'll like it again. But yeah, I don't.
I'm never liking it. It doesn't fit.
But one of the things, you can basically change outfits and stand in front of a mirror. You can see this kind of going somewhere one day that you put all these clothes in and you can artificially wear clothes and see what you look
See
like.
how you look like in them.
Tattoos, you can kind of like superimpose tattoos on you and kind of see where you like.
To the tattoo artist fucks it up.
Tattoo artist fucks it up. Yeah, that's right. Oh man,
No regrets.
no. Portraits that like real life photos of people tattooed on their bodies. That one I never. That's just so risky.
It's very risky.
Very risky.
I've seen a lot more of the bad ones than I have the good ones.
Yeah.
That's one too where you just got to go to somebody that's reputable and you got to spend a shit ton of money to do it. Because if you get it for $100 from the guy down the street, It's gonna look like shit.
We have 3D printers, right? We have all this technology out there. Why do we not have automated tattoo machines?
Again, it's an art form. I wouldn't want an automated tattoo.
Well, the art form is in putting it in, the system and drawing it, making whatever it is. The other part is, putting it into the skin. You could take the art form out of it and make it uniform and make it perfect.
Yeah, but I wouldn't like that.
You
I mean,
know?
I think some people might. I think it'd be something that might even happen someday, like in Idiocracy, where he just puts his hand on the machine and it tattooed his ID on him or whatever.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Where you just put your arm in or
and you're good to go.
your body part, and it just does it for you.
I think that'd be awesome.
I mean, it is kind of weird they don't have it yet. But again, I wouldn't want one like that.
Yeah. I mean, there is part of the rite of passage,
For people
getting
who
at the pain,
have
everything.
tattoos,
That's,
yeah.
it gets.
It's funny because now everybody has tattoos.
It
Was still a little edgy when I first got my first tattoo. It was still kind of a half edgy thing.
That waiter has a tattoo on their arm. Yeah.
And now you see like 7-year-old people walking around with tattoos. Like everybody's got one now.
They're like, oh, you got a tattoo? Whatever. Yeah. It's no longer cool anymore. It's like Mohawks. No, obviously
What
you
the
still have
fuck?
one. Mohawks, man. You got like every 2-year-old kid running around has a Mohawk.
Yeah, every 2-year-old kid.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Not a lot in the 40s though.
A lot of kids named like.
I'm not giving it up.
What are these kids named today?
I just don't.
All these weird names.
Oh yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say weird names.
They're going to be commonplace in 20 years.
Here's a squirrel
And they're
moment.
going to be like, ooh, we're going to name our kid something very old-fashioned. Jeffrey.
until there's a hurricane named Jeffrey. Then, but and truth be told, like Katrina, like the naming of people named Katrina after Katrina went down.
I'm
like
sure.
The correlation.
Yeah. Why would
Jeffrey
you
Dahmer, when he got convicted too,
Yeah.
my name went down. Like the popularity went,
Makes sense.
plummeted.
Not a lot of Hitlers out there.
So I was talking about this with there are a lot of Adolfs. There
are some Adolfs, and I've seen it a couple times, and I'm like, why would you do that?
This conversation came up with another group, and we're talking about the Adolf thing. Like, who today would name their kid Adolf? And maybe it's a family name, et cetera, et cetera. And we went on to, I said, well, about the hurricanes and Katrina, and then one guy goes, man, why can't we have a Hurricane Nevaeh?
just get rid of that name right now.
Just get rid of this name. This could be the worst hurricane.
No
ever.
more Nevaehs.
No more Nevaeh. No offense to anybody. Well, you didn't pick your name, right? Parents.
It's not your fault, Nevaeh. You'll be okay. Just you can always go by nickname later on.
So, well, I'm glad I don't have some crazy name like that.
You just
but
deepfake your own name. I'm
That
not
is the thing,
Nevaeh.
why don't you
now
just
I'm
change it?
Natasha or Natalie or whatever.
What would you choose if would you ever change your name?
No.
No. I mean, obviously you could if you wanted to, but
Yeah.
if all things the same, you wouldn't change your name.
Especially at this point.
That's funny.
I changed my name already from when I was a kid. Like I go by a nickname technically. But,
yeah. Well, I just heard a nickname that I haven't heard in a while.
Oh yeah. We're not gonna say it, but
and I'm like, wow, I haven't heard anybody call you that in forever.
yeah, some people still do.
Yeah, so it's just been Jay.
Yeah, and that's but just not my real name.
We have a mutual friend that goes by, a different name because we're all Jays, and when you say his real name, people look at you like, who?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I forgot you. You didn't know him.
Oh,
back
that's his
then.
name?
How sad that is. Like you didn't really think that that's his real name, right?
Right.
Or you just never heard their name. It's like that moment when you realize your parents have names. Like even though you've heard other people call them by their name, it just never clicked. And then one day
it's weird. You hear somebody call it, and you're like, "What?
Wait, your name's not Mom?"
I remember being a kid, and somebody asked me what my middle name was, and I got very nervous because I didn't know it, and I felt very embarrassed. And so I had to go ask my mom what my middle name was. And she was like, seriously? So she told me that. I went back and I was like, by the way, my middle name is blah, blah, blah. I was all like matter of fact about it. Like, I'm not as stupid as you think I am.
Except I just had to go ask my mom what my name was.
Well, he didn't know that.
I didn't know how to spell it.
Because I was like 7 and, he saw me go over to my mom. But
I was terrible. I still am terrible at spelling. I didn't know how to spell my middle name for a long time. Are you?
Yeah.
And so is it memorization for you or is it?
Pronunciation and...
What was that word?
Pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
Did I not enunciate?
Rewind that back, guys.
Did I not enunciate pronunciation? Okay.
Pronunciation is just what
I am tired and hungover.
What I heard anyway. I don't know if it was true.
I'm scraping through these conversations.
Is that what it is?
It is definitely that today.
Jeez, OP.
I've been worse, but I'm a little rough.
We take like 9 months off and you get back here and you're a little rough.
I'm always rough, sir. It's always
Well, we should have deep faked it, I guess.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
I mean, we do fake it.
So, getting full circle back to that, it is kind of fucking scary. I do see your point on that. The implications of what could happen with it. And I guess it's going to make this next election coming up very interesting because it's already going to be superheated because of it's been superheated for 3 years now, I think it is, that it's been going on.
I don't know. I tried to take a
So-
nap and wake up when it was over, but it hasn't happened yet.
Nope, not yet.
I tried to hang on, man. I tried to take that bitter pill and like, regardless of where I felt on the spectrum, like, okay, this is what it is,
You know what I've done?
and ignored it all.
I've completely removed myself
that what
from
it
like all that. Because
How?
basically, I don't watch TV. I don't
Pretty
really.
tough, man.
I just try to stay away from stuff.
It is hard. It's hard to stay away from that.
It's kind of like the Facebook thing, you know. If it's something that if you open it up every day and you're looking at it every day, you make that a part of your routine and part of your life, and then you get caught up in the drama or the whatever that it is. If you just remove that from your life, it's like, oh, well, I don't have to worry about that anymore, and I can go about my day.
Are you going to AA?
No, fuck no. Hell no.
I'm just saying.
I just got done saying I was hungover.
I didn't say you were good at it.
Okay.
I just said that you're going.
I'd be terrible
There's
at
more
it.
drug addicts and alcohol, or people using drugs and alcohol in AA than that aren't. At least
No.
that's been my experience.
Probably. I've never gone.
Half the time, it's people trying to find other people to sell drugs to. I was really surprised by that too, like how much of that.
That was in Breaking Bad.
in it. Well,
They
I mean,
went
it's
to a
because it's
meeting
true.
to sell, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, where are the addicts at?
Yeah. Where's
Right?
your
Weak
customers?
people. Yeah, weak. I shouldn't say weak, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, the
Susceptible
people
to
who are-
what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Your market's right there. Why
Yep.
wouldn't you? You know they started the Breaking Bad thing.
This AA meeting brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah.
After this AA meeting, grab
Drink-
yourself an ice cold Miller.
Drink responsibly. What's the Serenity player? Please give me the strength to change the things I can and the.
I don't know, something like
I
that.
can't remember. I've said it a million times. I should remember it, but
Don't know it.
I don't know. Hey, you know what? Do the steps. Work the steps. It works.
I became a member a long time ago in one of our friends' groups called AO, Alcoholics Obvious. He came up with the idea, and I was like, sign me
That
up.
sounds familiar. I think we've taled about that a long time ago.
I think so. You know her. I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you after.
Alcoholics Obvious.
We
Yeah.
shouldn't make fun of alcoholism though, because I mean it's a serious thing for people. So I'm not trying.
Yeah,
to,
I hate it when
I'm
I-
not trying to make light of it.
I hate it when I come down with alcoholism. It's terrible. Just like on an airplane, minding your own business, and all of a
Poof, you're
sudden,
hammered.
what the hell happened, man? I mean, I washed my hands and everything.
Yeah,
and all of a
right.
sudden I got this disease. and
Boom! I got it
I
again.
didn't even do anything to get it.
We're in April. I think we're gonna have about a week long stint of alcoholism. I believe
Why?
vacation.
Oh shit!
You're going to Jamaica with me.
That's true. I forgot. Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Maybe I'll be sober that weekend. Somebody's got to drive
that
the
week.
boat.
Yeah, right.
So
You'll just we'll deep fake it. Somebody can drive while we.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
I look for that. I look forward to that. I forgot about that. At least in this moment, seems
Yeah.
like so far away at this moment.
It is. It is indeed.
Well, that's all I got on the deep fake. Check it out. Get on YouTube. Look
Don't
it up.
believe everything you see.
Yeah, and that definitely is not Hillary Clinton doing. Well, maybe it was. Oh, I seen the funniest meme today. Speaking of the Clintons, since we love that
I
one.
saw it too.
6ix9ine.
Never mind.
Never mind. Like I don't even know a whole lot more about that, but I saw that one and I'm like, that's
That was
awesome.
enough.
That's too funny.
That was good.
But until next time, I'm Jeff,
And I'm Jay.
and this has been Arguably Correct.
Don't be deep faked.